Hello, howdy ho, neighbor. Welcome back. Welcome back to my...
Nobody gives a shit!
Just welcome back. Who gives a shit, really? And I'm just gonna bash this pallet to bits and pieces real quick. There we go. No wooden crate or pallet is wasted on me in this game. And so today we're up to so much. Let me just mess around with this toxic pole first. So there we go. That's what we're up to today. We're up to hazardous radiation levels detected, which means we cannot proceed on foot wherever it is we're headed, which is Black Mesa East. We're supposed to catch up with Eli Vance. And to help me with that journey is going to be, I can't speak English today, this thing, Mud Skipper, or you'll never hear anyone in this game call it that, the airboat is going to help me get there. So physics and engineering, the world around, are still kind of scratching their noggin and trying to figure out how this lovely contraption even works. But, you know, who gives a rat's ass? So long as it gets me to places, that's lovely. And yeah, this is the first thing that I wanted to show off. Look what happens if you so much as try to take this piece of rust bucket back up the tunnel or a canal. You hit a, not a dead end, an invisible wall. There we go. Now, invisible walls, I can work with that, no problem. But what looks like a giant slab of concrete that's right up the canal, a short distance over there. I'm kind of pointing at it right now. That's not okay. It looks like someone sealed up that part of the canal entirely with concrete. Now, I don't like that, so I'm going to demonstrate. This is all for the sake of science, guys. So this is not cheating. I'm going to punch in some cheat commands because this is going to take a lot more than just zooming in. We got to get up close, you know? And yeah, like I said, it is. Someone, that part of the canals has now been completely sealed off with concrete. So someone dropped just a giant slab of concrete behind my back when I wasn't looking, whoever that was. Anyway, back in my Mud Skipper, there I go, calling it again Mud Skipper. I swear to God, you'll never hear a single character in this game call it that, Mud Skipper. What's even a Mud Skipper? I know of a fish called Mud Skipper. There's another Lambda cache. We're about to clean it out, and it looks like right up ahead, over there, see that big red barn? That's Station 12. It's gotta be Station 12. They told me to keep an eye out for, you know, a big red barn. But it looks like a human being is hanging out on one of the catwalks. And he's wearing a suit. Yeah, well, by the way, yes, that's the G-Man. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. So it doesn't take a fucking genius to, you know, put these two puzzles together and figure out who that is. He's watching me. Also, you can't hurt him. No amount of gunshots or rocket launchers. Oh, did I just spoil the game? Anyway, I'm going to clean out this Lambda cache. There we go. You just discovered yet another one of these babies. So we're gonna, by the way, from here going forward, we're gonna keep our eyes open for these Lambda caches. Right? I'm collecting all of them. These bitches are not wasted on me. And I just bashed those wooden planks apart with my head. Yeah, and there he goes, just buggering off as soon as I get close enough to mess with him. By the way, don't bother not trying to catch up to him. That's impossible. Right? Doesn't take a genius. I'm gonna bash these crates apart with my crowbar. And if you look into one of the windows, something curious happened. Look. Notice there's no one there, and now boom, there's someone, a zombie, or two zombies to be exact. Right, so they just got spawned right in front of right up in my grill, as some people might say, right in front of my face, basically. So yeah, that's pretty lovely, but there's obviously two ways you can go about this. You can whack these fellas where they stand, you know, take your pick, you can use your crowbar, your gun, or we can mess around with these guys in a very, very interesting and mind-boggling way. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lure these guys off of that ledge into the water below. Because there's enough water down below to drown a zombie, and I'm really curious to see what happens when a zombie drops down into like a pool or just water, enough water to drown a grown adult. And I'm far along enough to know that something is not working. Either they are scripted to stay on this ledge, like whatever happens, they'll just stay here. They don't mind you, or because even if you shoot his balls off, he still won't get pissed off enough to kind of follow you wherever. So something is clearly not right. We're very close. No, guys, come on. You guys go. You guys really need to get those nails clipped. You got to go do your nails. Go talk to your husband. Bum $20 off of your husband to do your nails. No.
2,000 years later.
So the first zombie, let's call this one Matt. Matt just met an unfortunate end. Hell if I know what happened. He just, 1 second the fella is perfectly fine, and then the next he just drops like a fly out of nowhere. So now I only got Bobby to work with. So Matt should have checked his blood work and done his urinalysis, I hear sudden cardiac arrests happen, so you guys should kind of watch out. Not you watching this video, but these guys, especially when you're a zombie. In other news, in better news, in fact, this other zombie is limping away again, and it's kind of bugging me. It's really just pissing me off, ticking me off. Is that how they say it in the UK? You're ticking me off, mate. I'm sorry if you're from the UK watching this. Yeah, so something is terribly wrong. Either zombies in general have never been, were never scripted to handle a scenario where someone is trying to, get them to follow them into the water, or... Yeah, there he goes, just limping away again. I'm telling you, something is off. Something is off. Anyway, such is my life. So I am fairly convinced that zombies in these game are fucking terrified of water. So I'm just gonna whack this guy, just put him down, put him out of his misery, but not yet. Just one last try, please. For the love of God, let me... Yes. No. You motherfucking cocksucking bitch. That's the only word I can think of to name this fella. Why can't you just follow me into the water? Why can't you just step off this ledge? What is it about this ledge that you're so glued to it?
2,000 years later.
Hey, I'm back. And something just happened to Bobby. Bobby dropped like a fly right in front of me. Go figure, right? I mean, when you're a zombie, you're probably swimming in all sorts of health issues. Should have checked his blood work sooner. And by the way, this is a really sweet piece of real estate. This is prime real estate, and that is the owner, or the former owner, I take it. Yeah, he's as dead as they come. And by the way, we have this map of the canals, which matches up with my travels, as you soon will see, and that down below is Black Mesa East. So, yeah, I've got my work cut out for me today, just watch. And by the way, yeah, this map makes perfect sense. It does match up with how you travel through this chapter. And look what the Combine did. They shelled the living hell out of this place. Quite literally, they dropped one of those bombs with head crabs, turned everyone into head crabs. And what is that? That looks like a graffiti or like a tag. Like one of the buildings is tagged up. Yeah. There we go. There's green. And it says, what does it say? Resist? Something like that. So that area is, by the way, is off limits. There's a chain link fence that prevents entry. So the only good angle to look at that tag would be from inside, looking through one of those windows. So across these planks, the view is truly breathtaking. This is prime real estate. Just watch. And yeah, watch out for this little cunt. Just whack it. So this pulley is going to be jammed with a barrel, so unjam it by whacking the barrel once. And what is that? So that was a Combine chopper attack helicopter. I feel like identifying as such today, but I'm going to hold off on that. So clearly they've been trying to track me down, and guess what? My money is, you can count on that guy having noticed my airboat. No way he just blew by without noticing it. That's not going to happen. But for now, I'm just going to I'm going to break both my legs, yeah, and then drop down into the water. All this stuff, all these goodies that came out of this crate marked with a lambda. So yeah, it's up for grabs. Like, help yourself to it. It's not like the previous owner is gonna, miss it. Because guess what? They're all dead. Also, I realize some people might be wondering right now, what the hell is this guy doing? Come on, put some pep in that stuff. What's the holdup? It's been, 10 minutes? You're still at, up around station 12? You've made literally no progress through this chapter yet, but this is just how I am. I like to explore, right? And this is one of my favorite games. It really brings back a lot of memories, like good childhood memories that I just can't let go. I feel like I'm stuck with this game. But wait, I'm about to let you in on a little secret, and it's coming right up. It's gonna be right across this canal. I bet you could not. Look at these drain pipes. They're fake. How about that, eh? What do you know? So there's another thing I'm going to check out before I finally climb on into that airboat. That is this drain pipe that is behind a metal grill. Obviously off limits. Well, and now I can climb into that mud skipper and, hit the road. All right, and let's just step on it. And another boat. Wait, I just have to do it. I'm sorry, I have to dismount and whack it to pieces, check. Make sure there's nothing, underneath it, which by the way, I knew there was nothing underneath it, but just for the sake of this playthrough, because this has been a dream of mine many, many years. I wanted to play every single video game that I ever played as a child and liked, not just played, but liked it. And I wanted to do one of the most complete playthroughs, all the secrets and deep cuts. There's another one. There's this ramp, but before you jump this ramp, climb underneath it. There's ammo. So this is not a lambda location, so you don't have to dismount and poke around underneath that ramp. You're not missing anything other than some ammo. If you don't, dismount and check around. Yeah. So let's launch off this ramp. Should be easy enough, considering this airboat is a work of miracle. A most lovely contraption. Now, get off and listen to this. Oh, and by the way, speaking of that ramp early on in Water Hazard, there's a few more things to be mentioned before we move on with our lives. So first of all, there is this piece of eerie music that kicks in as soon as you dismount nearby. As soon as you've, jumped the ramp and then dismounted. It's very easy to miss while you stay in the airboat, if you stay in the airboat, due to the engine noises, but on foot, it's right there. And secondly, what the hell is wrong with the view of the canals, on the other side of these metal bars? There's an apartment block floating in the air. Are you gonna tell me nobody at Valve, they just let this one slip through the cracks? No way. That's quite eerie, right? See that pipe right across the way? Mm-hmm. Good. So here's the deal. There's an urban myth, for lack of a better term, to be debunked or confirmed, take your pick, we're about to see that, concerning what might be a secret G-Man sighting. Now, I'm not talking about that time you get to catch a glimpse of the man pulling up to the big red barn early on. This one is just around the next bend up the river a short ways. So evidently, ramping over this barricade and then using the airboat to get a boost into this pipe will cause a secret scene to happen where the G-Man is supposed to turn up out of nowhere on top of that dam right across the way. So I went through with it, obviously, and let me tell you, get in and out of this pipe all you want. There is no G-Man to be seen anywhere around. And yes, I've given it a shot on both the latest updated Steam version, whatever, and the original 2004 build. This one is pretty hard to come by these days unless you own a physical copy. So either it's a hoax or a mod that made it look like he was there on top of that dam. Take your goddamn pick.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit!
Fine, let's hippity hop into this mud skipper and get the hell out of here. Step on it, Freeman. Oh, what are you doing? Quit dropping these things on top of my head. Oh my fucking god. The last one even broke. Broke up into shards. Not shards. splinters. Look at this, it's a mess. But, at bare minimum, we now have some extra supplies. Another cannon, XL 25, die. I didn't mean to actually kill that birdie. I was well aware that killing birds is possible in this game, that, placing a careful shot will kill it. But I was not actually aiming for that bird, trust me. It just happened. But seriously, are you going to care about a bird in this game? The whole world is going down in flames, and now Freeman is back to put the flames out, or even actually stoke them. This tunnel, by the way, I remember this tunnel. This really brings back some memories. None of them are good. I was just a small kid, and the Half-Life pretty much just came out. And I was playing it with my cousin, or rather, he was playing it, and I was just, kind of right next to him, watching him play it. And then he was inside this very pipe, and the wind was howling and making these noises, amplified by the pipe. And it really freaked me out as a kid, big time. So, by the way, yeah, we have to solve a little puzzle if we are going to continue further up the canal. Until we have solved this ramp puzzle, there's no going further. So we have to drop down into this water. We have some, I can see some bubbles bubbling up to the top, to the surface, rather. Sorry, I can't speak today. So it's quite simple, really. They're giving us all these blue barrels, floating barrels, by the way. And I am to place these barrels inside this basket to kick the ramp up, to raise it, essentially. What's even that, to kick the ramp up? Just raise it, make it stable, right? So I can take this ramp and jump across and clear this pool. But there's something curious down here behind this grate. Not really grate, but grill. That's a human skull. That's another human skull. Remember I said earlier on, passing through the canals, like within City 17? I'm sorry, in Route Canal I mentioned. I even found them both skulls.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit!
And I said that skulls show up throughout the entire chapter Water Hazard. So there is the first skull. Someone has been placing these skulls all over the canals, and it's my job to find and locate them all. There's no real achievement, right, tied to this one. It's mostly just, just for the sake of satisfying one's curiosity. That is, what's that? That forebodes a lot of trouble for me. That spells trouble. Don't tell me that flying rust bucket just dropped off or actually dropping off right now, a bunch of assholes in my path. Come on, that would be another pallet. Remember, pallets are not to be wasted. You see a pallet, you break it into pieces with that crowbar. That's why they gave you that crowbar. And what is this? Looks like some kind of I always forget what that material is called. Stainless steel canister or tank or whatever that is. So yeah, there are these islands, small isles of small patches of dry land. Yeah, I can definitely see that thing, Combine Dropship, giving birth to Metro Cops right now. And there they are. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and try to snipe one of them off. I know this is quite a distance for that. It's not exactly the right kind of distance for like pistol shotting or pistol practice shooting. Is that the right term? I'm sorry, I'm not really into guns. So yeah, it might take some careful aiming and like blinking just a little bit. Still, like, I'm playing on hard difficulty, so it can get a little tricky because these guys, they fold like cheap suits, like Walmart, one of those like really cheap Walmart suits, like discount deals, but still, they can take quite a bit of beating before they go down, and like, but yeah, he went down, he's dead, as you're about to see in just a few seconds. So let me just mosey on down this canal. There is nothing here. I'm gonna stop by to appreciate it. And yeah, go. Beautiful. And there's the guy that I put down with my pistol from back there. This one. So yeah, make sure to scoop up all this ammo. There's a crate full of goodies. And I'm going to poke around and investigate this little patch of dry land. It looks like there is a tanker with that's been like blown open, really just blown open. You can crawl inside. There is nothing inside. But yeah, and the whole thing has been flipped over on the side. So there's really nothing going on there. I had to poke around just to check off that little box. But look at that screen. If you pay attention, you might see something. So I'm gonna shut up for just a second and let you try to figure it out on your own, and then I'll talk about it. Now, put on your most serious, straight face and tell me that you can't, for the love of God, see the G-Man showing up here and there. I know, it happens almost momentarily, just a few frames here and there, but he's there if you pay attention. There we go. And yeah, so the original footage on that up on that screen is of Breen delivering one of his Breencasts. You know, the old miserable fuck likes to do that, even though nobody gives a shit. But yeah, the G-Man is there. So what else is there to do around this part?
Ground units. Anti-citizen reported in this community.
Anti-citizen, so that's what they're calling me now, anti-citizen. Damn, I'm moving up in the world pretty fast, you know, I'm earning badges left and right. So anyway, there's something else we can do. See that lambda tag on the concrete wall? Yep, this one. So if you put a barrel up against the wall to give you a bit of a leg up, you can climb inside this pipe. And from here, it's really just as simple as just following the pipe until you hit a dead end. So let's see where it leads. This one. So the basic idea throughout chapter Water Hazard, you know, much like throughout the entire game, the rest of the game from here going forward, is really to just keep your eyes peeled for these lambda tags. Oh, I did not realize you guys liked water. Remember back up around Station 12, the big red barn, I tried to... Okay, well, this guy folded way too fast, way too easy. Something is not right. Am I playing on... Hold on. I'm playing on easy. How has this been slipping by this entire time? I would have noticed. But anyway, this is Lambda Cache number 11, and there's another human skull. So, yeah, just coming into this cave was... probably one of the best calls I've made yet. It was a really decent haul in terms of secrets and stuff. Not only did we clean out yet another Lambda cache, but we also located another one of those human skulls that someone, or something, take your pick, has been planting all over the canals. And we are to find them all. So back down the pipe and out. Out. We have things to do and places to be and Alex to screw. Sorry, I did not say that. That's a really nice view. I love this chapter. It's one of my favorite chapters. Now, before I mount my airboat, if you cross this part and look inside this pipe, there is another human skull. Right?
All ground protection teams. Judgment waiver now in effect. Capital prosecution.
So, just translating what that lady on the Combine dispatch intercom, whatever, just said. She basically just said that the Metro Cops from here going forward, they have full authority to kill people, right? No judgment, no detention, no nothing. They can just kill anyone or anything they see fit. Oh, more Metro Cops. There you go, guys. There you go, guys. I'm gonna put you down with just... No, you know what? Fuck it, I screwed up. Fuck it, I screwed up big time. This was probably one of the worst calls I've made yet. I should have never done that. By the way, there's something strange about Metro Cops, and this is what I mean. Do you ever stop to let the Metro Cops murder you in cold blood so you can see what they will be up to afterwards? A good time and place to do it is right up the canal after the first ramp puzzle with the blue barrels. Dismount and get wrecked. Then you'll see the Metro Cops casually hanging around like it's just another fucking Tuesday in City 17. Also, I have a pretty good reason to believe that the Metro Cops in Half-Life 2 must be absolutely fucking terrified of water. They wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole if they were thirsty and dying. See how they won't bother chasing me across the water over here? Like, even though there's only so much water, you couldn't pay me to drown a midget in it. It's just, what the hell?
Unit. Anti-citizen reported in this community. Code. Lock. Cauterized.
Up there. Ooh, nobody gives a shit.
Alright, back in action. So I'm still poking around this little patch of dry land just to see if there might be something going on. It just look, we have some cattails, we have some rubble, something, you know, blood splatters all over. But anyway, there's really nothing. So back in my airboat and hitting the road yet again. And when I say road, what I really only mean is the canals. And right underneath this ramp is yet another human skull. That's somebody or something. I keep saying the exact same thing. I know, I'm sorry. I'm kind of losing my, kind of tripping balls out here. Just being out here, you know, I'm really on edge today. But anyway, that was another human skull. Someone likes placing these all over the goddamn canals. Some sick-ass bitch. That's the only term I can come up with for whoever has been doing it. So, yeah, ram into these wooden supports, makeshift catwalks, just ram them down, really just bring them down, right? Tear them down. And the Metro Cups will die. Just like that. I wonder if they have wives back home. I wonder if their wives even know what kind of pieces of shit they're married to. And if you poke inside this tanker that's been flipped, that's been like knocked over on its side, there's another skull. It may not look like it right away. You may actually be thinking that's not a skull, that's a rock. But no, that's actually a skull. If you knock it, never. You know what? This is what you get for cheating. This is what you get for using cheat commands in this game. But that is a skull. Believe me, you can knock it just right and get just the right angle, to see that is actually a skull, a human skull. So we can poke around some more, but there's nothing on this patch of dry land. So instead, I'm just going to slide off this thing and check out this little dark corner. And as soon as you approach, a murder of crows will beat their wings and take off in front of your face. You can obviously gun them down with your gun. Feel free to do that if you're into that kind of stuff. You know, practice shooting. You can't go wrong with that in this game. But look, there is a dead civilian that looks like he has seen better days, and some ammo pickup. So feel free, you know, that's up for grabs. Help yourself. He's not gonna need it. And when I say a murder of crows, I meant it because a bunch of crows is called simply that. A murder of crows. It's like a bunch of people, a crowd of people, blah, blah, blah. So same goes for crows. We have some barnacles. These barnacles have to go. These barnacles absolutely have to go. And before I climb into this airboat, two more things to mention. These Metro Cups and these makeshift catwalks or whatever they are, they will die the second you even touch the wooden support beams that keep the whole thing propped up. Also, yes, no clip-in into barnacles disables the cheat command and drops you back down to the ground. Yeah. Okay, now back on the road, picking up where I left off, which was right here. So we have finally made it all the way around, and look, if you look to the left, that's going to be the exact same dam that's facing that first ramp, you know, and the bridge. But first of all, I'm gonna stop by this little sign, traffic sign, whatever that is, and look, there's another skull right on top of it. Now, if all the previous skulls made some sense when you kind of stopped to think about it, right? Okay, so there was one underneath a wooden ramp, then, you know, there was another one inside a pipe next to some zombies. Those made some sense in terms of how they even, like, ended up there. But this one, unless someone would have had to place this skull intentionally on top of this sign, otherwise explain how it's there. And if you swing by this dam and look through these metal bars, the view on the other side is all out of whack. It makes no sense. This is where we came from, but where's that bridge? Where's the ramp? And what is that? What looks like a giant slab of rock that's now completely seals up that entire portion of the game? What the hell happened? Anyway, back in my mud skipper. That's a curious question. Am I out of my airboat or am I off my airboat? Because both make sense to me, but when you think about it, I have to climb into the airboat to, never mind.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit!
Never mind my senile brain farts. That's what I call these random things just come to mind. Oh, that building is not feeling well today. It's a little under the weather. That gap between both blocks, building blocks. Not building blocks, but you get it. Jesus Christ, I can't speak anymore. So out of my airboat, or rather off my airboat, and this guy is... Oh. Wow. I never realized these guys could like just clip through solid objects. Oh goodness, look at that, guys. Did you see that? 33. Do you know what that means? That can only mean one thing. Unless that's a confirmation that all of us have been waiting for. Guys, Half-Life 33 confirmed. Damn it. Gaben will have to live to be a 200-year-old man for Half-Life 33 to even happen. Alright, and here we are then. Looks like we can go no further. Seriously, if these floodgates could speak, right now they would be saying, "You shall not pass." So we have to find a way to open these floodgates. So open the floodgates and let your emotions flow. Where's my airboat going, by the way? Never mind. It's not like nobody's gonna steal it. Nobody's gonna steal my mud skipper. Nobody would be could possibly dare to be seen in that kind of car. You know, if someone sees you in that car, no girl will ever put out to you. I'm gonna close this door behind me. I would like to barricade it. Just stack some stuff, right? Enough stuff to barricade the door. And keep anyone trying to get in, this should keep them out. And anyone trying to get out, this should keep them in. And Dr. Breen is now talking to me. Alright, let me just stop by and listen to all this crap.
Some of the worst excesses of the Black Mesa incident have been laid directly at his feet. And yet unsophisticated minds continue to imbue him with romantic power, giving him such dangerous poetic labels as the one free man, the opener of the way. Let me remind all citizens of the dangers of magical thinking. We have scarcely begun to climb from the dark pit of our species' evolution. Let us not slide backward into oblivion, just as we have finally begun to see the light. If you see this so-called free man, report him. Civic deeds do not go unrewarded, and contrariwise, complicity with his cause will not go unpunished. Be wise. Be safe. Be aware.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit.
Okay. Are you still there? Get away from me. Alright, I'll be taking a break here, guys. It's been a long time coming, you know, and by it's been a long time coming, I mean me taking a break has been a long time coming. I feel like I really need a break right now, and I'm just gonna sneak right across into this room. No. Oh, goodness. What did you guys do to him? Where did his face go? Someone just scorched his face clean off. There's nothing left that you could call a face. I couldn't be drunk enough to call that face, to call this a face. It's not even a face, it's just a terrible grain. So yeah, just going to pick up a few things around these rooms, some pickups, and then I'll be taking a break. Taking a break. So I'm going to barricade. You know what? No, I'm taking the break now. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.